Hello everyone, Seedlink here, back with the next episode of Marble League 2021, Jousting. This is a new event with a few other similar events in the past, specifically Collision. But this one, for the previews, there's a big ball in the middle they have to, I think, push towards the other player as much as possible. Without further ado, let's get into it.
And we're rolling!
I should have best position, maybe just lay back like this. I'm getting a lot of ads in the middle.
Some 700 years ago,
past,
kings could
ones,
often
I'm going
be
to keep an eye on
found
the bottom
in
right
the tilts
and make sure to
of
credit
jousting.
properly.
Today, the third duo event in Marble League history, as we get ready for the Marble League version of jousting. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. The duo events, meaning just two marbles, compete per team in this one, so you have to choose your partnership wisely. And the goal is to streak toward each other, not too dissimilar from the classic version of jousting, and push that center ball bearing as far into the opposite team's territory as you can. So you see the yellow pupils in that one dislodge the ball toward the left, toward the green pupils. 4.8 the score, or the distance in that one. A knockout tournament style format.
This is the first
third
in this
place
regard.
match awaits.
Or, not a first,
As we get ready for Crazy Cat's
Second,
Eyes
that's
and
not
Rojo
first.
Rollers, two captains on these teams. One
my
apiece.
team went up
You see
against
that
some
ball
pretty
move
big
to
heavy
the
hitters.
right toward Rojo
Unfortunately,
Rollers,
but
and
they
these
did
Crazy Cat's
decent
Eyes
though.
are going to get the win. That's
Barely
a very
moved.
solid impact. Very also similar launch backward after the collision for a couple of those marbles.
So even though they're going to be on the
It's all
bottom,
about reading your
hopefully
opponents
they're
as
not
you
gonna be
come
right on
down
the
that
bottom.
ramp. Speedy and Rapidly
Okay.
have participated in
Both
every
my
duo
teams have
event
been
as a pair together.
against some top
Oh, look
tier
at that,
teams.
chasing the ball bearing, trying
they
to
got
give it that
bounced
extra
back up the
nudge.
ramp.
Not going to get there in time. 6.2 Savage Speeders will get
Yeah,
that
they're on
win.
the
Oh, look at
bottom.
that. Up the ramp, Speedy went, and then decided, wait, I'm going to have a chance at this. Tried to get over there to advance it farther than 6.2. That ball bearing being pulled over to the side. Unable to do it.
You
Well,
see my
Rangers
eyes
and
constantly
Shining
move, so
Swarm
I'm looking in the
now.
bottom right.
And that
see
ball
when,
didn't move.
An ad might
That is
come
a
up.
tie. We're going to have to do that again.
Okay then.
Shining Swarm, bronze medalists in the last event with the 5-meter relay. And they are going to be on the wrong end of this one. 4.1 to the O'Rangers. Mandarin and Tangerine. And look at that, a similar strategy to what we saw from the Savage Speeders, going up the ramp and anticipating where that ball bearing is going to go. Unfortunately, it never deviated from the center line. Otherwise, that would have been a pretty good idea. The Hazers and the Minty Maniacs. No captains in this one,
Hazers
but
got
a
it.
decent result for the Hazers.
The Team Maniacs have definitely had a fall from grace over the past two Marble Leagues.
Watching timing from above, you get a good sense of which pair reaches that center ball first. And then also
Still
the
haven't gotten to my
angles
number
from
one
it.
team
You're
yet.
watching the
Let's see.
team from the other side. Are they moving slightly to your left or to your right? And how are you going to counter it?
Whoa.
And that was countered beautifully by Mellow Yellow.
Okay, apparently
8.1
Lightning
over
Glaciers are not going to
Billy
be
and
right on
Bradley.
the bottom.
And look at the teamwork. You see them end up in the
Yeah,
same
one
section of
from the
sand.
Green Ducks hit it first,
That
and
is
then the
because
back
of how
with it, which
solidly
isn't good enough.
they impacted that ball bearing.
Here we go. Thunderbolts and Chocolatiers.
Chocolatiers and Thunderbolts. You notice Fudge up there in the lineup. First time ever in the Marble League for Fudge. And Chocolatiers are going to get a win because of it.
And Thunderbolts keeping out one second then on the end of it.
Thunder and Lightning trying to team up on the other side. Especially
So,
attempting to chase
first
down
event,
after that
all of
initial
my teams had
impact.
done
It was
terribly.
backspin rather than moving up the
Oof.
ramp that kept Lightning on
Thunderbolts
the table.
seem like they might be the top of the bottom teams here. 1 point
Down
down.
it goes. Doesn't have to be by much. You're just trying to get the win and advance to the next round. Chocolatiers, winners of the Funnel Endurance, of course, taking home a gold medal there. Raspberry Racers and the Limers throw back to the fruit circuit. Down they come, and that's going to be a tie.
Yeah, that didn't move. It's bouncing all around, but it didn't
Good chance to see
ultimately
some
move one way
different
or another.
marbles compete in these duo events.
Raspberry Racers looked like they hit it a
Slow
little later.
captain here, Sublime from the Limers. Take two.
We got it there.
There's that little nudge that we've been waiting for somebody to connect. And for the Raspberry Racers, it happens, and they get the win. 4.0.
Alright, so all of my teams are out here.
Another one of those ramp ascensions. Come back down and just get the kiss there.
So Gliding Glaciers are on the
Team
bottom,
Momo and
and
Indigo
Thunderbolts are at
Stars,
the top.
including Montoya.
These are two teams that have really
for
come
Indigo.
alive. How are there so many
Montoya will have another
ties?
go on this
How
one.
are there ties in this event?
Momo and
Like,
Momo
seriously.
on the other side. Indigo Stars are gold medalists from the Wave, the very first event.
That wasn't just
they
some
also
small
get
little
that
nut.
connection.
That was a
now they've seen
one.
it happen.
Yeah, they didn't even go up the
Wasn't
ramp.
a
They just
clean ascent up the ramp,
like.
but just enough to gather one's bearings, no pun intended, and go over and make that extra strike.
Yeah, Team Momo and Indigo Stars are like average teams that have really come alive this Marble
Momo are
League.
silver medalists from the 5-meter sprint.
So we got Limers up on top. Thunderbolts only 12. That's annoying. Oh, it's because they also got ties initially. So Thunderbolts 12, Rojo Rollers 13, Gliding Glaciers 15. So at least they're not bottom. So all my teams did 4.
We see 9th through 16th, those who are eliminated.
Now
And the marbles
quarterfinals.
roll on to the second round. We'll have the home team, the Crazy Cat's Eyes, who won that 5-meter sprint with Green Eye, back up in the blocks. The two best Marbula 1
think I'm
teams
gonna root
right
for
here.
Momo
Two
here.
captains among them as well. It's Red Eye and Yellow Eye.
I
We're
think
going
it's
to
the
suffer
farthest
the
we've seen
defeat.
it. 9.9.
Even though they reached the ball bearing first, look at the Savage Speeders using the same strategy as they had in the first round. Look at how dead center that is, right down the center line. Just to give perhaps a bit more energy to that ball bearing. Every millimeter counts, as we've seen in those standings.
And we're back. There was an ad that popped up there. I didn't prepare for it properly. It kind of caught me off guard, but that's all right because I was completely silent beforehand. So I'm going to be able to easily make that cut and restart this.
That was a great performance there. Teams are starting to figure this out. Of course, it's the first time that this event has been in the Marble League, as the Hazers and Rangers are going to joust
Another
to
0-0.
a tie. So we'll do it again. Take two. Down they come. They all
Hazers got
glance
it.
off to the side. Oh, look at it going back to center, and it's going to stay just
I was thinking of
the
that. Like, what happens if
Rangers,
it goes
the
back
Hazers
by itself?
will get the win.
That would definitely
Only
make the teams
just.
upset. I'll tell you that.
The direction that it's taking here, heading off toward 2 o'clock from this angle, and then it starts just sashay back to the middle. Slow-mo would have taken way too long
Chocolatiers.
to go through the whole thing. Chocolatiers and Mellow Yellow coming in now. Oh, look at this. We've got dueling impacts from both sides, and despite the
They had
Chocolatiers
two rounds
having one
there.
right up against it, it will go the way of Mellow Yellow. Look
Both
at how
men-
high up the ramp.
Yeah.
Is that Yellum that went all the way up there?
You would think
Came
that something
back
like that
down,
might be a
didn't move the ball bearing
disqualification.
all that much. Chocolatiers at that point
That's kind of ridiculous.
were kind of on the back foot. Didn't have the strength to send it the other direction.
All right.
This is very interesting as we progress through this
Two
tournament.
big players
Raspberry
there.
Racers and Momo now.
Didn't move.
We'll just send it quivering, but we will re-joust.
Rejoust. I feel like that's a kind of.
And this time Momo sends
Wow.
it well into the territory. It tries
Raspberry
to
Racers
curl
have been
back,
doing really good, so
but it's
that's
not
a
going to stay there. You know, I neglected to
bit of
mention.
an upset.
Momo also getting a silver in the 5-meter sprint. They've got 2 silvers this year. So I think I
Momo's
shorted
coming
them one
alive,
when
for
I first
sure.
said, oh, they're just the 5-meter relay silver medalists. This time they're working on a medal in jousting.
Right now, I think it's Team Momo, Hazers, and Savage Speeders that are showing the best that sort of quality right
Taking
now.
a look farther
And I
up
think it's
the
Mellow
order
Yellow.
now.
That's the fourth one.
5th through 8th is set. Of course, looking at furthest round, then most ties in the losing round, margin of loss to determine the tie breaks.
Yep. So Momo's going to
4
beat
remain.
Mellow Yellow.
Savage
I think
Speeders and the
Speeders are going to
Hazers
take out Hazers.
Are 2 of them. The Hazers,
it's close.
silver medalists, back in balancing in event number 2. Are they feeling the bruises yet? It's a lot of heavy
Ooh.
impacts. Oh,
Hazers
and that
got
one actually sends the
a lot of
ball
it can be
bearing to the
based off
near
of
side
timing
for
as
the
well.
First time in a while.
So you can
Maybe
see
the first
here
time
they hit second.
this
You'd
entire
rather hit
game.
second. in
I'm
this
not
event.
sure on that one, but either
Push
way,
it towards
the
you,
Hazers
and then
will
you
actually
push
get
it.
the win on this one.
You'll hit it
Savage Speeders,
a little
fantastic
earlier after
run,
you get
which
off the
goes
ramp, so
back
you have a bit more
full
momentum to push it in.
event beyond this one is going to come to an end, at least
So
for this
Hazers are
round.
guaranteed
They
at
will
least
make it,
silver
of
here.
course, to the medal round.
Momo's
and
gonna
return
win
the
this, I think.
bronze. Mellow Yellow and Team Momo here. Or will it stop
Mellow
on the
Yellow's
table?
definitely
It
not
will.
giving up without a fight.
That is
I
5.1.
could take it, but I think Hazers got
More
it.
great
We'll see.
teamwork from Mellow Yellow. Of course, they ended up in slightly different areas of the sand this time, unlike the last round.
And they will have another round for third place as well, which I'm
teamwork
not sure
making
between
it
Momo and
happen.
Savage Speeders who's going to get that.
Our finals are set. We begin with the bronze match.
We're going to start with the bronze,
Momo
okay.
and the Savage
I'm really not
Speeders.
sure here.
Down they come, and a great impact
Momo's
sends
got
it in
it.
the direction of the Savage Speeders. Is it going to come back? No, it won't. Team Momo have their third medal of these games, and it's their first bronze of 2021.
And I think they're currently in first, so I think they're probably going to stay in first. Especially because
just getting the angles right.
they got better than Savage
Saving
Speeders.
up the energy, but now for the
Thunderbolts
gold.
did terrible.
Hazers and
And
Mellow
they did better
Yellow.
than Raspberry Racers,
Neither
so yeah,
one's
they're staying
won a
first.
gold so far in these games, and it's going to be a
Yes.
resounding victory for the Hazers.
11.2, that's
11.2.
massive. I think that's probably the biggest we've seen. Look at this.
They got there almost at the same time.
It didn't even look like a massive hit. It just
The
keeps
Hazers
on
putting
moving.
Mellow Yellow at their own game. They kept the formation tight. They imparted as much energy as they possibly could at just the right direction to send
Talk
Mellow
about putting
Yellow
all the effort into
flying
the end.
into the
Wow.
silver medal spot.
My teams are going to drop pretty heavily here.
It's the second medal of these games for the Hazers. And overall, they are no strangers when it comes to medaling in the Marble League. I mean that in a good way, not messing with it. They have done that sometimes for
I like
other
how they're
teams'
showing the replay
championship
of all-
hopes,
of
certainly.
all their
They've
games.
medaled in those.
Or at least two of
But
them.
this was a
all of them.
fantastic performance
I mean, they just need one more. and
outlast
and
everybody
then
else
skip the
in
final
a
one.
physical event in its Marble League debut. The Hazers are your gold medalists in jousting. Mellow Yellow and Momo rounding out the podium in silver and bronze respectively. This will shake up the order a bit. Hazers were well down in 11th place. They're going to vault all the way up to third. The top two remain where they are.
So Raspberry Racers and Savage Speeders, surprisingly, did not drop. Savage Speeders I can understand, but Raspberry Racers, that's a bit surprising. Hazers bumped up 8 points. I think they were pretty high up earlier, but they had a big drop off. Mellow Yellow is quite a bit up. Rangers up 1 spot. Rojo Rollers down 2. Gliding Glaciers down 2. Thunderbolts down 2. So Thunderbolts are still 5th. Despite that terrible performance, they're still 5th. I'm fine with that. Gliding Glaciers and Rojo Rollers are quite a bit down, which I'm fine with, because the Thunderbolts are carrying them. And Mid-Team Maniacs low. I knew that was going to happen. Limers on the bottom. Green Ducks, 5 points dropped. Shining Swarm in the middle of the pack with 10. Crazy Cat's Eyes up 1. Indigo Stars down 2. So a lot of teams didn't change. Bottom 2 didn't change. Number 10 didn't change. Chocolatiers didn't change. Savage Speeders didn't change. Raspberry Racer somehow didn't change. And Team Momo didn't change. I knew Team Momo wouldn't, and I knew Limers or Minty Maniacs would either not change or go down. I didn't think Rangers did good enough to move up a point, though. That's interesting. So that'll be it for this episode. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next Marble League 2021. I don't know why I couldn't get those words out.